The first thing that needs to be unequivocally understood is that waiting for motivation is akin to anticipating rainfall in the desert. It might occur, but it's utterly unreliable. In entrepreneurship, individuals who defer action until they feel like it invariably find themselves stagnant, perpetually observing time slip away. The mindset of taking action, even in the absence of inspiration, is what distinguishes those who achieve tangible results from those who lament their circumstances. Every endeavor undertaken without immediate motivation fortifies discipline and retrains the brain to eschew procrastination. Consequently, even when lethargy looms, consistency triumphs and progress inevitably materializes. It's amusing how we deceive ourselves into believing inspiration will descend from the heavens, like an unexpected stroke of luck. Emotional regulation comes into play here, because acting without motivation necessitates suppressing the urge to turn back. Each minor decision to do what needs to be done, even without inclination, builds self-confidence and demonstrates to oneself that one is capable. Persistence is not glamorous. It's a routine of astute choices that go unnoticed. And it is at this juncture that entrepreneurship reveals its true worth. Relying on motivation traps one in a cycle of highs and lows, waiting for a surge of enthusiasm to initiate any endeavor. However, real life, replete with bills, obligations, and obstacles, waits for no one. Unwavering discipline cultivates tangible achievements, not mere phantoms of productivity. Daily action, however minuscule, retrains the brain and fosters automatic habits that underpin consistency. Consequently, without conscious effort, the entrepreneur begins to act instinctively, liberated from the need for external impetus. The beauty of acting, even without motivation, lies in the fact that every effort made in this state fortifies the mind, shapes character, and bestows an internal sense of power that is indomitable. Self-confidence flourishes as you realize your capacity to move forward even when every fiber of your being urges you to desist. Emotional regulation and perseverance transform into steadfast allies, and discipline ceases to be a strenuous endeavor, evolving instead into a way of life. And before you know it, you are progressing along the path to success, even if no one has witnessed the daily grind. Therefore, waiting for motivation is a luxury few can afford. In entrepreneurship, the rule is different. Constant action, unwavering discipline, and consistency as a daily mantra. Every small step, every decision to act, no matter how seemingly simple, builds results that accumulate invisibly, yet powerfully. This unglamorous practice is the secret that few comprehend, but all who persist leverage. And it is precisely this continuous action that prepares the ground for tackling the next challenge, which follows closely behind. The brain gravitates towards the path of least resistance, instant gratification, akin to those videos that consume hours imperceptibly. In entrepreneurship, this translates into a veritable trap, as every minor distraction siphons off focus and time that could otherwise yield tangible results. The mindset must grasp that genuine growth stems not from comfort, but from the deliberate, conscious choice to prioritize what truly matters. Discipline and emotional regulation become paramount when temptation beckons and indolence seeks to prevail. Persistence, therefore, is the act of persevering, even when the brain clamors for immediate reward. Social media, binge-watching, incessant notifications. It's all engineered for rapid dopamine hits, and the brain becomes habituated far too readily. Self-assurance and consistency falter when one succumbs to this cycle, as every swift click siphons energy that could otherwise be channeled into entrepreneurial endeavors. Conscious action transforms into resistance, and discipline is fortified by learning to reject impulsive urges. Small daily triumphs over immediate gratification accrue into significant future achievements. It's akin to training unseen muscles that sculpt your destiny. The trick is to transform difficult tasks into an almost automatic routine, preventing the brain from making impulsive decisions. A long-term mindset is key. Each moment of resistance to immediate gratification increases your consistency and strengthens your character. Emotional control here isn't optional. It's survival for those who want to advance in entrepreneurship. The feeling of victory comes from silent discipline, which few witness, but all results reflect. Persistence is measured by repeated effort, not by the emotion of the moment. When effortless pleasure beckons, it's time to recall that every choice carries consequences. The mind craves comfort, yet growth necessitates deliberate discomfort. Self-assurance is forged by embracing the commitment, I will do what matters even when I lack the inclination, and each minor decision fortifies discipline. Outcomes are not derived from instant gratification but from sustained, conscious effort. And quite suddenly, the habit of resistance transforms into an innate strength, propelling one toward the next challenge almost imperceptibly. Ultimately, the brain will always attempt to deceive us with easy shortcuts, but the divergence between those who stagnate and those who progress lies in the daily choices made. Persistence, discipline, consistency, and emotional control serve as a bulwark against the illusion of instant gratification. Each instance of self-restraint is an unseen investment that yields multiplied returns, and it is precisely this silent struggle that cultivates the ground for confronting the next hurdle, which looms just ahead. Dopamine addiction is insidious. It creeps in slowly and alters how the mind perceives rewards. In entrepreneurship, this translates to crucial tasks feeling mundane while distractions offer immediate gratification. One's mindset must be fortified, as every action taken without succumbing to impulse is a training session in discipline and emotional regulation. Persistence and consistency don't materialize spontaneously. They are forged by resisting easy shortcuts. It's a game of patience where results manifest subtly but are profoundly impactful. When one indulges excessively in fleeting pleasures, the brain's sensitivity diminishes, and concentration becomes a scarce commodity. Self-confidence wavers as it seems impossible to focus on what truly yields returns. However, every conscious effort, however small, fortifies discipline and trains the brain to value genuine accomplishments. Repeated action cultivates habits that shield against the temptation of instant dopamine. Ultimately, each decision to resist is an unseen victory that manifests in tangible outcomes. The peril is that dopamine addiction engenders an illusion of productivity. Checking social media feels like accomplishing something, yet it leads nowhere. A long-term mindset serves as the antidote. Each deliberate choice fortifies consistency and lays the groundwork for success. Emotional regulation is honed every time one opts to concentrate on work, rather than immediate gratification. Persistence is the act of demonstrating to oneself that one can indeed prioritize what truly matters. And thus, imperceptibly, habits of discipline begin to pervade one's routine. Resisting quick dopamine requires meticulous attention to the nuances of one's own behavior. Each instance of discomfort, when used to train the mind, constitutes an investment in self-assurance and discipline. Consistency is cultivated by habitually making these minor choices, devoid of any reliance on external motivation. Entrepreneurship is less about fleeting inspiration and more about intelligent routine. With every deliberate action, the brain comprehends that tangible outcomes far surpass ephemeral gratification. At its core, dopamine addiction serves as a potent reminder that genuine progress is unattainable without mental fortitude. Persistence, discipline, and emotional regulation are not mere abstract notions. They are the indispensable tools that forge tangible achievements. Every act of daily self-restraint is a brick meticulously laid in the edifice of one's future. The mind cultivates its strength in silence, yet with formidable power, thereby paving the way for the subsequent challenge, which will invariably demand an even greater degree of focus and unwavering consistency. Acting without volition is the secret that few comprehend, yet it is the very thing that distinguishes those who achieve results from those who remain stagnant. In entrepreneurship, waiting for volition to strike is a squandering of precious time. Every action undertaken without motivation serves as a rigorous training in discipline, fortifying emotional control and consistency. Persistence manifests in the minutiae of daily decisions, repeated ad infinitum, even when every fiber of one's being screams, I don't want to. The mindset recalibrates, learning that progress is not contingent upon mood but rather upon action. It's curious how the brain initially resists, as if protesting against effort devoid of immediate gratification. Yet, each step taken without explicit motivation fortifies self-assurance and cultivates habits that gradually become second nature. Discipline isn't about brute force. It's about training the mind to heed reason over impulse. Persistence manifests in the conscious repetition of these minor actions. And, before one realizes it, acting without volition becomes the norm, paving the way for greater endeavors. Entrepreneurship teaches that action independent of motivation holds more value than any fleeting inspiration. A long-term mindset necessitates this kind of silent effort, unseen by anyone, yet it cultivates consistent results. Emotional control is fortified each time one chooses to do what is required, not what is easy. Every endeavor devoid of immediate gratification is a triumph, a brick that underpins self-confidence. And this quiet practice primes one for the next crucial element: routine and discipline. The beauty of this process lies in the fact that over time, acting without desire ceases to be a sacrifice and becomes a habit. Persistence solidifies, consistency takes root, and the mindset evolves into a state of natural focus. Each decision to act in the absence of motivation fortifies not only character, but also the perception of control over one's own life. Discipline and results begin to walk hand in hand, almost as if they were part of the same mechanism, and thus, the daily routine transforms into an ally, poised for the next challenge. Ultimately, action devoid of volition transcends mere labor. It is about rigorously training the mind to subjugate unruly emotions and fortify one's mentality. Each minute decision precipitates a ripple of discipline that cumulatively cultivates self-assurance and enduring accomplishments. Persistence manifests in the sheer fortitude to persevere even when every internal impulse screams for cessation. It is precisely this quiet, unyielding strength that lays the groundwork for the subsequent topic, wherein automatic routine becomes indispensable. Automated routines are the key to achieving consistent results. In entrepreneurship, every automated decision conserves mental energy and bolsters discipline without requiring excessive deliberation. A proactive mindset is reinforced when one rises upon hearing the alarm without hesitation. Persistence is cultivated through repeated habits, and emotional regulation becomes more stable as the mind anticipates what is to come. Consistency emerges organically, almost effortlessly, as a natural byproduct of well-honed choices. Automating decisions prevents the brain from being sidetracked by the allure of comfort or instant gratification. Each minor daily action reinforces self-confidence, demonstrating that discipline can be maintained without reliance on motivation. Entrepreneurship demands this kind of silent mechanism. Those who postpone decisions until the moment arrives are prone to procrastination. A well-structured routine functions like the invisible engine that keeps productivity flowing, and, imperceptibly, these habits pave the way for the next challenge. The secret lies in rendering the fundamentals unquestionable. Rise, organize your space, commence the task. Each repeated act fortifies consistency and trains the brain to prioritize what yields results. Emotional control solidifies as the mind ceases to contend with trivial decisions and instead zeroes in on what truly matters. Persistence manifests in daily stability, even in the absence of inclination, and thus silent discipline lays the groundwork for confronting the next juncture, organizing the environment. A well-constructed automated routine liberates energy to tackle more complex and challenging tasks. One's mindset then shifts to focus on growth, rather than squandering time on perpetual deliberation. Each habit reinforces self-confidence and discipline, and results manifest without requiring additional effort. Persistence and consistency become natural consequences of a solid routine. Within this cycle, one realizes that each structured choice propels the next step towards peak productivity. Ultimately, an automated routine functions as an autopilot for success. It keeps the entrepreneur moving forward even when motivation wanes. Emotional control, discipline, and consistency are quietly solidified while the mind remains focused on what truly matters. Each small repeated action is an investment in lasting results. And it is precisely this stability that paves the way for the next topic, where an organized environment will further enhance focus and productivity. A cluttered environment functions as a silent virus, siphoning away focus and energy. In the realm of entrepreneurship, those who fail to organize their workspace unwittingly forfeit productivity. A focused mindset necessitates surrounding clarity, and every misplaced item constitutes a distraction. Discipline and consistency are fortified when the environment is conducive rather than obstructive, leading to more serene emotional regulation. Persistence flourishes because the brain is not burdened with combating external chaos to yield results. Small details make a difference. A tidy desk, documents in order, managed notifications. Every adjustment to your environment is an investment in self-confidence and productivity. The brain responds to visual cues, and organization transforms routine into a natural flow of action. Entrepreneurship demands attention to these subtleties because focus isn't cultivated solely through willpower. Consequently, habits of discipline begin to manifest in tangible, silent, yet potent results. When everything is in its proper place, work flows more effortlessly, and each task demands less mental exertion. A growth mindset thrives in environments meticulously arranged for sustained focus and continuous action. Persistence is bolstered by an organized routine which eradicates unseen impediments. Emotional control is fortified, as there are no minor challenges to divert attention, and without conscious recognition, each environmental adjustment paves the way for confronting the subsequent challenge. Learning to navigate discomfort. Organization transcends mere aesthetics. It is a strategic imperative. Every decision to maintain a space that is both tidy and functional directly correlates with one's capacity for discipline and unwavering consistency. Self-assurance flourishes as one recognizes that a structured environment significantly enhances cognitive output. Entrepreneurship vividly illustrates how minute details exert a cumulative influence on ultimate outcomes. Furthermore, each deliberate action undertaken with this perspective in mind serves as preparation for the subsequent phase, confronting discomfort and harnessing it as a catalyst for growth. Ultimately, the right environment functions as an invisible propellant for productivity. Every decision to organize, declutter, and structure engenders automatic discipline, fortifies one's mindset, and fosters effortless consistency. Persistence becomes solidified, and emotional regulation grows more stable. Subtle, incremental adjustments accumulate, laying the groundwork for greater challenges. And it is precisely this structured foundation that paves the way for the next topic, where discomfort transforms into a tool for growth. Discomfort is akin to a demanding professor no one desires in the classroom, yet one who imparts life-altering lessons. In entrepreneurship, confronting arduous tasks fortifies one's mindset and cultivates discipline. Persistence emerges when one opts to press onward, even when every fiber of one's being screams to desist. Emotional regulation is honed, as each uncomfortable situation serves as a tutelage in managing emotions and limitations. And gradually, each formidable challenge metamorphoses into an avenue for genuine growth. The beauty of discomfort lies in its ability to reveal strengths one never knew they possessed. Self-confidence blossoms when it dawns on us that we are capable of navigating what once instilled fear. Consistency endures, because the practice of confronting unease becomes routine. An entrepreneurial mindset is forged through small triumphs over daily discomfort. And without conscious realization, each silent act of resistance cultivates the foundation for tangible and enduring outcomes. Discomfort also serves as a test of persistence. Those who flee remain stagnant, while those who confront it grow. Discipline and consistency are fortified in moments that demand more than mere willpower. They necessitate action. Emotional control is honed by maintaining focus despite pressure and adversity. Entrepreneurship embodies this principle, training the mind to advance even amidst discomfort. And it is precisely this capacity that prepares one for the next crucial element. Discovering purpose through action. Confronting tasks that evoke discomfort is an unpalatable, yet ultimately transformative endeavor. Each repeated exertion fortifies one's mindset, discipline, and self-assurance. Persistence and consistency transcend abstract notions, solidifying into robust habits. Emotional regulation becomes entrenched as the mind learns to navigate adversity and frustration. And every unglamorous challenge overcome primes one for the subsequent phase, the cultivation of purpose through sustained action. At its core, discomfort is a harbinger of growth and opportunity. Every arduous moment endured is an investment in future outcomes. Mindset, discipline, consistency, and perseverance quietly fortify themselves, sculpting character and self-assurance. Emotional regulation transforms into a potent instrument, and each triumph over vexation paves the way for loftier aspirations. It is precisely this practice that bridges the entrepreneur to the subsequent subject, where purpose crystallizes from action. Waiting to feel a sense of purpose before taking action is akin to waiting for the wind to carry you somewhere. It hardly ever happens. In entrepreneurship, a winning mindset recognizes that purpose is born from action, not from sentiment. Every step taken fortifies discipline, consistency, and self-confidence, shaping tangible outcomes. Persistence is demonstrated by the capacity to persevere, even in the absence of complete clarity. Emotional control is cultivated by learning to act even when uncertainty prevails. Continuous action unveils paths that no one foresees, and purpose emerges organically as an effect of daily practice. Each disciplined endeavor reinforces the mindset that outcomes stem from work, not inspiration. Consistency morphs into habit, and self-assurance blossoms with each quiet accomplishment. Persistence and discipline walk hand in hand, demonstrating that the pursuit of meaning is constructed brick by brick, and each step taken prepares for the next challenge. Valuing consistency over the sheer volume of effort. Entrepreneurship, without expecting complete clarity, is the most potent mindset test there is. Every action bolsters emotional control and teaches that discipline is far more dependable than fleeting inspiration. Persistence solidifies with each unglamorous task completed, and results manifest even when unseen. Daily consistency engenders a cumulative effect that unveils purpose and direction, and imperceptibly, the path brightens with each repeated effort. In practice, purpose is a byproduct of action and discipline. Self-confidence grows when one realizes they are capable of generating results without needing constant inspiration. Each act of persistence reinforces mindset and cultivates automatic habits that facilitate long-term focus. Discipline and consistency become invisible, yet potent tools that steer one toward their objective. And it is this quiet construction that prepares for the next point. Consistency trumps volume. Ultimately, purpose is not discovered. It is forged through every decision to act, even in the absence of volition. Persistence, discipline, and emotional regulation are the cornerstones underpinning this construction. Daily consistency is what transmutes mere actions into tangible results and imbues those actions with profound meaning. Each incremental step fortifies the mindset of an individual committed to growth, eschewing shortcuts and justifications. And it is precisely this continuous practice that organically leads to the subsequent discussion: how to prioritize consistency over sheer volume. Many individuals subscribe to the notion that accomplishing a great deal at once is the key to success. However, the reality diverges from this belief. Consistency triumphs over sheer volume. In the realm of entrepreneurship, diminutive daily actions wield far greater potency than sporadic, colossal endeavors. One's mindset is fortified by the comprehension that outcomes are derived from the repetition of habits, rather than from fleeting moments of inspiration. Persistence manifests as the sustained, quiet rhythm of effort, even when unobserved. Emotional regulation becomes an indispensable ally, as each day of deliberate action serves as confirmation that discipline yields tangible results. Doing a little, but every day, is the secret of those who achieve solid results. Each act of consistency reinforces self-confidence and discipline, fostering habits that compound like interest. The mindset learns to value gradual progress and focus remains steadfast. Persistence grows because each repeated action demonstrates that it's possible to advance unhurriedly, and thus, imperceptibly, volume loses importance to the strength of consistent habit. Consistently pursuing entrepreneurship necessitates patience and emotional regulation. Each incremental daily triumph fortifies one's mindset and ensures long-term outcomes. Discipline is sustained through repeated habits, and self-assurance blossoms with every silent advancement. Persistence and consistency are inextricably linked, demonstrating that sustained action surpasses intermittent intense exertion. And this perpetual practice primes one for the ultimate challenge: the choice between action and procrastination. The key is to internalize that success isn't measured by grand efforts, but by what you accomplish daily. Each small action reinforces discipline and consistency, shapes mindset, and strengthens emotional control. Persistence manifests in the ability to maintain momentum, independent of motivation. Self-confidence emerges when one realizes that results stem from habit, not fleeting intensity. And each day lived with consistency lays the groundwork for even more significant decisions. Ultimately, volume is an illusion and consistency is reality. Every repeated action, no matter how small, engenders tangible and enduring results. Mindset, discipline, and persistence mutually reinforce each other, rendering emotional control an innate faculty. Each daily habit functions as a brick in the construction of self-confidence, fortifying the entrepreneur's journey. And it is precisely this continuous quiet practice that propels us toward the final juncture, the choice between action and procrastination. Ultimately, it all boils down to a choice: to act or to procrastinate. In entrepreneurship, every decision to forego waiting for motivation fortifies mindset, discipline, and persistence. Emotional control is tested each time the temptation to postpone arises. Self-confidence blossoms with every step taken, even in the absence of desire. Consistency is revealed in the small, daily choices that accumulate into tangible results. Procrastination is comfortable, but costly. Lost time never returns, and opportunities slip through one's fingers. Immediate action, even when arduous, trains the brain to prioritize what truly matters. Discipline and persistence are fortified with each decision to act. A success mindset is forged from small commitments, repeatedly fulfilled. And without one even realizing it, each conscious choice prepares for even greater challenges. Entrepreneurship necessitates the recognition that constant action is the bridge between objectives and outcomes. Emotional control is fortified by learning to say, "I'll do it now," instead of, "I'll leave it for later." Consistency is forged from simple decisions, repeated until they become habit. Self-confidence blossoms because each choice demonstrates your agency over your own life. Persistence and discipline walk hand in hand, generating momentum that no one can divest. Every time a decision is made to act, one's mindset adjusts, comprehending that waiting yields no progress. Procrastination is a silent adversary that erodes discipline and self-assurance. Persistence and consistency are fortified when action is prioritized even amidst discomfort. Emotional regulation solidifies through the daily practice of making sound decisions. And each step taken paves the way for further action, sustaining a cycle of continuous growth. At its core, the divergence between those who achieve results and those who remain stagnant lies in the decision to act. Discipline, consistency, perseverance, and emotional control are reinforced with each conscious choice. Self-confidence blossoms, and a success-oriented mindset fortifies itself subtly. Every action undertaken is an investment yielding tangible and enduring returns, and it is precisely this practice that cultivates the groundwork for the next phase, crafting the script's introduction. Now the question is, will you continue waiting for motivation, or will you take genuine action? Every habit you've cultivated, every decision to persevere and maintain discipline, is what will determine whether your results are mediocre or extraordinary. Mindset, consistency, emotional regulation, and self-assurance are ineffectual if they remain theoretical. It's time to implement them. Persistence is what distinguishes those who achieve from those who merely observe, and every choice you make today is a brick in the edifice of the future you aspire to build. I've guided you this far. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel.